Okay, we're going to start the Finance and Purchasing Committee meeting for Monday, June 16th, 2025. The time is now 5:16. Roll call, please.
Alderman Newsom,
Present.
Alderman Florian,
Present.
Alderman Hayes,
Present.
Alderman Donenworth,
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Item C, can I get a motion to approve minutes from May 19th, 2025, Finance and Purchasing Committee?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Florian,
Second.
second by Alderman Donenworth. Are there any questions to the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item D, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from May 28th, 2025, the Special Finance and Purchasing Committee, the budget hearing? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Florian,
Second.
second by Alderman Hayes. Was that Donenworth?
Downward.
Oh, both of you? Oh, Donenworth? Donenworth, okay. Any questions?
meeting minutes so
Any
much.
questions to the, any questions to the motion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Item E, public comment. Is there anyone that wants to speak on any item on the agenda? Being none, we're going to move on to new business.
Alderman Chair, I would like to make a motion that we move the public hearing, item F, up to item A and scoot everything down.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Donenworth, to move item F up, the public hearing up to item A of the new business. Can I get a roll call, please?
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes, Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Director Garland, we'll start the public hearing.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm before you again for the consolidated plan. So we have to do a consolidated plan for program year 2025 through 2029, which details our goals that we have set up for the next 5 years that we then accomplish by doing an action plan each year. So of those years, we will administer those programs each year through an action plan. So the City of Waukegan is an entitlement community that receives federal funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to support community development, economic development, and affordable housing activities. We receive funds, we receive CDBG funds, and we receive home funds. Home funds we receive through the Lake County Consortium, which entails the City of Waukegan, Lake County, and North Chicago. That is the consortium. In compliance with her regulations, the city has prepared its draft consolidated plan for 5 years from beginning May 1, 2025 through April 30th, 2029. Can you hear me? Okay. The consolidated plan is a strategic plan for the implementation of the city's federal programs for housing, homelessness, community development, and economic development within the City of Waukegan. So what I presented, which was available in board docs, was a draft plan. What I provided here with this is a list of the, this is the list of the allocations or the programming that we're going to fund for program year 2025. So it tells you the agencies, so Safe Place, Elder Care, Habitat for Humanity, Northern Illinois Food Bank, PADS of Lake County, Prairie State Legal Services for both their disability and fair housing program, YCC, Youth Build Lake County, and Zacharias Center. The SPP panel that we have, they decided to fund those agencies, and the amounts are listed beside them, for a total of $110,000, which is 15% of our grant allocation from HUD. So this year, which was a decrease of approximately almost $70,000 from last year, so we're supposed to get, oh my goodness, $735,595. That's our allocation for this year. Also, that also includes our home funds, so we're getting $266,402 for our home allocation. Our home allocation, we only use for our rehab program. For our substantial rehab program is what we use our home funds for. So all the rest of the items listed here will be completed with CDBG funds. And so we have Waukegan Park District. We're going to do the Dugdale Park renovations. We're going to fund them $100,000. For City of Waukegan, we're going to do the microenterprise small business program again. So we're going to put into that $200,000 to service small businesses in the community. Our housing rehab program, it's only $50,000 there because, cross our fingers, this Friday, we put in a grant for $1.5 million for our housing rehab program through IDA. So they have their meeting on Friday, so I will be there in attendance. It looks like we may be getting it. They didn't tell us, but they will be announcing it on Friday, and I will have hopefully good news when I talk to you guys again. So we put in for $1.5 million, but we don't know if we're going to be funded, and if we are, how much. I believe we are. I just don't know for how much. So, but I'll be there on Friday to find out for sure. So that's why that's such a small amount there. And then the administration, we can only use 20% of our grant allocation, and that goes toward paying our salaries. And then rehab administration as well, that goes toward paying salaries. And some fees with rehab housing, for example. We pay for radon testing, and we do lead testing on all of the properties that we fund, and so that comes out of that total as well. And I believe that's it, unless anybody has any questions. Oh, I also wanted to mention, in the action plan and in speaking with HUD, it's a problem with them being able to put our IDIS system is where we house all of this information, and this is where we submit to HUD. However, it's not pulling over the statistical information that it should be pulling over. So we're supposed to be pulling from year 2019 through 2023. However, it's not pulling. And so that's been nationwide. And so, I'll tell you what page. So it's tons of statistical information, but it's old information, and we can't pull it over. We can't even change it. They won't allow us to. So it's numbers that they put in there. So that would be on page 29 through all the way through 33. So those are numbers that are generated by HUD. However, they are not pulling over the correct numbers. And until they're able to fix that, unfortunately, those numbers will be put there. So you see some of them is all zeros because it wouldn't pull over information. Then the other information you see is filled out. We didn't put that there. It's populated, but it's not pulling over correctly. So that's the same information from last year. So, from the last consolidated plan. So from 2020 through 2024. So unfortunately, that information is not up to date. So, but we're still, of course, working on it. It is a draft. It's put out for the community for 30 days. So from June 16th to July 17th, it's open for comments from the community. If somebody think we need to do something, take something away, have a comment about it, we're open to that. This is what this is for. They're also still open to contact us by email. They can mail letters in. We put the notification out in both Spanish and English, so they have an opportunity to comment on this if they like to. We will be coming before you July 21st for an approval of the plan once it is complete, and then we would do our submission to HUD on July 22nd. The other thing that we have on there is the 2024 action plan. So currently, we are technically in program year 2025. However, we have not received any funding or any grant documents. So we're operating in 2025, but that's kind of like how it goes. You know, we never get our money until like September, October, November. We don't know. So we'll see what goes on. But they did say that we were going to get that money. It's been out there. It's live. So we'll see what actually happens. So we're still waiting on that. Just had another thought. Oh, I hate that. Any questions?
Thank you for that explanation. I have the, summary you gave us here, and I'm just a little confused, but, so the total amount in the lower right-hand column totals 735,595. 735,595. But then below that is a number of 1,100,997. Does that include this home allocation
Yes,
number over here?
exactly.
Okay, but you just said you only expect to get 700,000, correct?
Those are the amounts that we're projected to get. From home is the 266, CDBG is the 735.
And home is,
That's what we use for our housing rehab program, for our substantials.
okay, and that money comes from?
That comes from the Lake County Consortium. which
Okay, you
includes-
said that earlier. Okay, so,
So like, for example, in the past, we've also used our home funds for Barwell, Macquarie, several of the projects that's going on with the Housing Authority. We put a ton of money into that for several projects over the year. So we also use it for that as well, so.
right, so line number 14 on here is housing rehab, and it's only $50,000. And a lot of times we get residents who come here and stand at that podium and talk about, I need help with whatever it is, a roof, plumbing, electrical, whatever. I guess I'm struggling with, there's, approximately $1 million here, and we're only allocating 50,000 to that, and you have told us before the waiting list is 2 years, 3 years long?
So, and what I explained earlier is, it's that low because we're looking to get $1.5 million for our housing rehab program. So if that is not the case, then we would have to do some switching around for housing rehab. So of course, we would use our 266, but that's only for substantials. But we would increase that number so that we would be able to handle any emergencies. CDBG funds are very flexible, so that's why we use it for our emergencies. So we can go into a home and just do the sewer. But when you use home funds, you have to bring the property all the way up to code. So that's the difference between the sources of funding. It's more restrictive with home, more flexible with CDBG. So it's 50 there now because we're praying we get that money. But if it would be that we didn't get it, then we would have to go back to have to make some adjustments.
Okay,
Because
thank
like
you for
said-
that explanation.
I have a quick question. Actually, a couple of them. So this is really helpful. Thank you. So lines 1 through 10, it looks like these organizations were either given $10,000 or $15,000. Is there a reason why Habitat for Humanity and PADS got more, or is it need based? Just trying to understand the difference.
Well, it was based off of, one, their application, how well their application was. They turned in everything, did everything that they were supposed to do, how they performed throughout the year. Did they turn in the quarterly reports in time? Were they correct? All those types of things. So the board, they look at, what we have, who we're funding, and the amount of money. And so we start determining how much we'll get for whichever program. It just so happened that it turned out like this, that a lot of people got 10,000 and, so it was just that we had that 110. It was just those amount of people, and It just worked out that way. So that means their score was a little higher. And then the need, of course, for homelessness is so great. So that's why it was bumped up a little more.
Okay, that's really helpful, thank you. And then, how does this money, for at least for items 1 through 10, how does it get paid out? Is it like a lump sum? Has it
So
already been
it could-
paid?
It could be a lump sum. So what's required of them, they will have to turn in an invoice. They have until May 15th. So from May 1 until April 30th, they have time to spend their money. So if they wanted to get the 10 in one lump sum, they could. But what we do is based on reimbursement. So they have to prove to us that they've already spent out $10,000, and then we reimburse them for that $10,000, and they provide the documentation that details everything. Mostly things that we cover are salaries and benefits. That's for the most part. So a lot of these agencies we might fund a coordinator that runs this particular program.
Okay, that's super helpful, thank you. Last question I have, Chair, if you don't mind, is line number 12. What is micro enterprise small business?
So it's very specific in that you can only have 5 people in your business or less, and that's including the owner. And your income could only be a certain amount to be able to be micro enterprise in order to be able to receive funding. So it's based off of income and then the number of employees that you have. So that's micro enterprise.
Okay, and the number jumps out at me, $200,000. Not that I'm opposed to helping small business by any stretch, but it's a big chunk. So how does it work? Is it an application process, and then they already have to be an existing business? Like, what is the criteria?
You're saying all the things. So you would need to at least be in existence for at least 1 year. You have to be, of course, located in the city of Waukegan. There is an application process, and there's various things we ask for. We ask for business plans. We ask for bank statements. We ask for tax forms. You need to explain to us exactly what you're using the money for. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, this is my last question about this. Is this a scenario where they have to spend it first and then they get reimbursed? Or does it come up front?
No,
It's up front?
it would be up front.
Okay. Thanks for everything you do. It's much appreciated.
Sorry, no, I thought of one more off of what he said. So the micro enterprise, you said, what are you going to use the money for? What examples can you give us of?
So before it was, for example, you can use for salary, technology upgrade, equipment. Did I say payroll? I said payroll, didn't I?
And how much does each business get?
They can get up to $25,000.
All right, thank
So it goes
you.
low as 5 and as high as 25,000.
I have the last question.
Okay.
How many business do we have that are participating in this program right now?
Well, we have funded, I want to say over the years, we have funded almost, I had to get the, don't quote me, but I think almost 30 businesses we funded.
Oh, okay. And this 200,000 is per year?
This is per year. So this is for some more businesses.
Okay.
that, you know.
Does the businesses repeat
No, one time,
one time?
one
Okay.
time, one time only.
Okay.
So
Good.
just like with everything else with the for housing rehab, we'll do 2 on your house. We do an emergency and a substantial. That's it. This is not our house. It's your house. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? All right,
Thank you, Larissa.
You're welcome.
thank you. Can I get a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Hayes. Second by Alderman Florian. To close the hearing at 5:36 PM. Roll call, please.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Now we'll go back to our agenda. Item 2, new business. Item A, an ordinance authorizing and approving the disposition of surplus property of the City of Waukegan Fire Department equipment. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Hayes, second by Alderman Donenworth. Okay, the Waukegan Fire Department is the owner of a ComAir Mako BAM06H, including a compressor, fill station, and 4 cylinders that is 25-plus years old and past its useful life. We have purchased a new filling station and are therefore ready to dispose of this system. We will be donating the surplus system to the Little Rice Fire Department, which is located in Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Are there any questions to this motion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Item B, a resolution authorizing and approving the purchase of computer equipment from CDW-G LLC, Joint Purchasing Cooperative Sourcewell, for a not-to-exceed amount of $205,000. Funding will be sourced from General Ledger Line 100-1037-26495 and 100-1037-24801. Can I get a motion on the floor? Motion by Alderman Donenworth.
Second.
Second by Alderman Hayes. Staff recommends the council to authorize the IT department to purchase hardware and professional services from CDWG for a not-to-exceed amount of $205,000 for a police department network refresh. CDWG purchases are through joint purchasing contract. Joint purchasing is defined exemption from the city's competitive bidding requirements under Section 2-458, subsection I-3, and 2-458, subsection I-6 of the City Code. Professional services are a defined exemption from the formal bidding procedure pursuant to Section 2-458, subsection I-4. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Item C, a resolution authorizing and approving the purchase of software from United Systems from Itron for a not-to-exceed amount of $212,313. Funding will be sourced from General Ledger Line 555-915524801 and 555-915026496. Can I get a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Florian,
Second.
second by Alderman Donenworth. Okay, the Water Department is requesting approval for this software upgrade for the water meter software with United Systems Itron for not to exceed amount of $212,313. Any questions? Can I get a roll call, please?
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Item D, a resolution approving the procurement of OpenGov permitting and licensing cloud solutions from Caresoft Technology Corporation for the use by the Engineering Department for a not-to-exceed amount of $70,000. Funding will be sourced from General Ledger Line 100-9101-24801. Can I get a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Motion by Alderman Donenworth,
Second.
second by Alderman Hayes. The engineering staff requests the purchase of OpenGov Citizen Services Cloud System solution to implement more effective ways of managing right-of-way permits and small cell wireless requests. Joint purchasing contract purchases are a defined exemption from the formal bidding pursuant to Section 2-458, subsection I3 of the City Code. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth.
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Item E, a resolution authorizing and approving the purchase of software from OpenGov for cartograph an amount not to exceed $174,290.85. Funding will be sourced from general ledger line 100-91062480 and 555-915524801. Can I get a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Hayes. Public Works is requesting for a one-year renewal with Cartograph software through OpenGov, which is the asset management system that Public Works currently uses and the Water Department will begin using for an amount of $174,290.85. Funds to be charged to line item 100-910524801 and 555-915524801. Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth.
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Motion carried. Next item, we've had the public hearing, so reports and communications. Are there any questions from the aldermen regarding any of the reports that we've received?
Is this the only time the treasurer's report is going to be discussed?
I'm going to, after if there's not any questions on here with the reports, then I'm going to turn it over to the treasurer.
Got it.
No
So-
questions for me.
No
Chair.
questions? Okay. So item I is the treasurer's report.
Yes, Madam Chair. This is in regard to the audit. We've had, Mr. Don Schultz has had many contacts with our auditor in the last 2 weeks. If he would come up here and just give us a little report of where he's at and when we expect the audit.
We have been assured by the manager, by the audit manager, that we should have the completed audit no later than the end of this month, if not sooner. After which time we'll schedule it for presentation to the Finance Committee at our first Finance Committee in July.
So you said at the end of the month, we should get the final report?
You'll have a final report probably within 2 weeks.
Okay, and then you will go over it at our first meeting in June. Okay. Are there any questions for Alderman Florian?
Thank you, Don. I know you sent us an email a Thursday about this around 4 o'clock, explaining, where things stood and when you expected a response. And you said, should you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. So I did. And I asked, because you had clearly delineated what the issues were with the audit in the email you sent out. So I asked, I replied at 4:06 that day. So to be clear, this delay was not an intentional move by the prior administration, because that had been not only insinuated, I feel, but actually said out loud. And you replied the next morning at 11 o'clock, that you had not heard anyone make such an assertion, but you can tell me with all sincerity that the prior administration wanted a complete audit in a much more timely manner. It would have only bolstered our constant presentation that the city's overall financial condition had never been stronger, which we've talked about numerous times up here. And you said, there was no effort on part of the previous administration to delay this report.
To be honest, we find such a assertion to be professionally and personally insulting, not only to me, to the finance department, to the administration, to the independent auditors, who would never hold up an audit. We've had no discussion with any administration in all my years of holding up an audit. It's just not heard of.
Thank you for that clarification.
Justin? Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Mr. Schultz?
So the concern of mine is that delaying this for whatever reason has to do with our grants. We need this information to apply for grants. And so we don't want to lose, hopefully, in the future, we won't be this delayed, but that's how it is. And the concern is we need this report to finish and comply with grant requests.
I have a question. Are we in threat of losing any grants that have been submitted thus far?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right.
There's a stop payment on some of the grants that are reimbursements, and will be reimbursed once the single audit is filed at the state.
Oh, if they, okay,
We haven't lost any grants.
okay. Are there any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Schultz.
Yeah.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn? The time is.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Dannenworth. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 5:48. Public Works is at 6. Thank you all.